All right, so we're here with me, Myles, and
Vic Rose.
here with us today is. Forgot your name.
Walker Wonder.
Where you from, man?
I'm from Santa Monica.
So where'd you come from today, though?
Oh, I live like East Village.
East Village.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it was easy getting down here, I guess.
Yeah, not too bad.
How long? Like 15 minutes? Or?
Yeah, 15. Just took the 6.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice.
How old were you when you moved from Santa Monica out to?
I guess I was like 19. Just got out of high school. Got into NYU.
You were doing music already, or
Yeah, I started in like high school.
really?
Yeah.
What prompted you to start making music?
That's a big question, man. I mean, it kind of that's the kind of thing that really sort of just happens to you. You know what I mean? It's not like this organized thing of like, oh, I'm gonna be a musician now. It's like you just get hit by something. And for me, it was like I started playing guitar and I started listening to like indie rock and stuff, and I really felt something with it, and I was having so much fun with it. I started when I was like 15. Got my first guitar then.
Who'd you listen to?
My first favorite artist ever, anything like that, was The Strokes. Before that, it was just like, you know, I just listened to what my parents listened to, you know, and then you go through that phase where you're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And you separate and you get into your own shit. And
Find your own identity, your own
that's
sound.
right, yeah. So when that started is when music started for me.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
it's similar like a Slash's story. You know, like how you started like around that same age, 15
Really?
and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like my music doesn't fit my backstory. Like for that, it sounds like I'm like some punk musician or something, you know, of like rebelling against my parents and stuff. But I think that's really part of what it was, you know, it's just kind of like finding my own way.
Yeah.
You remember how old you were? The first song you actually recorded?
First song I recorded?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so I guess like the way it happened for me was everything started with guitar. It was like I was obsessed with the guitar, and then I got obsessed with production. That was like 2 years later. I got crazy about like Ableton. I was taking these classes. Shout out Lawrence Gray, my first ever Ableton teacher. He really changed shit for me, because then it became about not just playing guitar but creating a whole track, you know. And so the first stuff I recorded, I was probably like 17. I was probably a junior in high school. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're like a jack of all trades, basically, right? Because like you're not only excellent in different instruments as well in production, but your academics were well enough to get into NYU as well. That's, you know, not anyone can just get into that school, you know.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not Yale, but yeah, I was that kid. I tried to do really well at everything. Like I was really serious about guitar. I was really serious about school, and I was really serious about Ableton and production at that age. You know, kind of as I've gotten older, I've sort of let certain things go, and I realized like I don't have to be good at everything, you know. But at that age, I was very interested in being like throwing myself into everything, you know.
Would you say like your main instrument is guitar? Because like I've seen a couple of your stuff, and man, you could shred, bro.
Thank you.
You could shred. Like and for starting off and like in high school, like I would think that you started like, you know, since you were like 4 or something.
Yo, that resonates. Thank you, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, that's guitar for almost my whole career has been my main thing. And then it became production, and now I feel like that's also like an instrument, and that's one of my main instruments. And now since I got to school and started doing that shit, it's singing too. Like I think I identify as a singer more than anything at this point, you know, because it's so personal, you know. Yeah, that's right. So it keeps going. Maybe I'll be a drummer in like 5 years. I don't know, you know. But it kind of keeps unfolding. I think that's what's like exciting about it.
Constantly evolving and just getting better and just being a well-rounded overall like.
Yeah, I mean, I just love it, you know. So for me, my feeling about it is if I love it, I'm gonna want to know everything there is to do with it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna want to know about songwriting. I'm gonna want to know about all the instruments. I mean, because if something gives you that feeling, it's for me, it's not enough just to know how to do a part of it. I want to know how to do all of it, you know. So I try to follow that.
What's your recording process actually like?
It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. So when it started out, it was very much about I'd spend a lot of time. I'd spend hours on hours trying to get the perfect take, you know, trying to get perfect guitar takes, perfect vocal takes, get the perfect synth sound and have it programmed right at the right time and all that. Now it's super quick. It's like I sit down and there's a moment where I'm really going through something and I'm feeling something and I try to capture that. If I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I don't. And then I just move on with my life, you know? So I think the recording process for me is really about trying to be present, you know, and really trying to give all of myself to the mic, you know? And there's some days where you can't do that, you know? And so you know, maybe you practice guitar, maybe you practice singing, maybe you write something, maybe you don't do anything, you know? Yeah. But, I try to focus on those moments when I'm really there and try to give that to the mic, you know? Yeah.
And all the music you make, is that all, like, is it all self-instrumentation, or do you ever, like, just get a beat off online?
So far, yeah. I really love the idea of meeting a band of people who we can all flow with together, you know, and we can really connect in that way. For now, I don't have that. So I do it by myself, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you record?
In my room.
In your room?
Yeah, I mean, everybody does at this point, you know? That's just a way to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because the quality is insane.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
he was...
What do you use, though, like, to record?
So I just bought a Neumann, whatever the entry-level Neumann mic is, so it's a great condenser microphone. Yeah. I have an Apollo Twin, the interface, which is... I don't feel like I need to buy another interface. I'm really happy with it. Yeah. I got monitors, you know, so... I got a great setup for what it is, you know? Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Yeah, it's pristine, man. Like, when I first heard it, I could have sworn, like, you, like, recorded at, like, $1 million studio or something. Like, I swore, like...
Yo, that hits, bro.
Before, like, I, like, you know, got more into your music and, like, did, like, you know, like, research and stuff. Like, I thought, like, you, like... I thought it was, like, this full band, you'd, like, recording studio. And, like, now for you to tell, like, it was done in your room, it's, like, literally, like, if you put your mind to it, you can do it, you know?
That's beautiful, man. I mean, thank you so much, because I've hoped that that's the way my music would resonate with people. I love music that is like 5 incredible musicians in a room playing great instruments with great parts. That's the shit I love, you know? So, you know, I don't always feel like I get it, but my goal is always to try to recapture that energy. And that it made you feel that way really means a lot to me. Yeah.
So the song you have, I saw you only had one song up. The title is escaping my mind, but I had to listen to it about, like...
It's called It's Not Her Eyes.
Oh, yeah, Her Eyes.
That's right,
yeah. I had to listen to it like 20, 30 times. You want to tell us, like, the story behind that song?
Yeah, that was a really special day, man. That was so... that was last year? No, that was the year before. I was in 10th grade. School had just kind of started to get out, you know, it's like that May vibe where you kind of are in between school and everything, and that had been like that was a really, to be honest, a really hard year for me. You know, some kids go to New York and really like throw themselves into the scene and into their friends and everything, and they connect really easy right off the bat. I had a really hard time like leaving my family. I had a really hard time kind of moving on with my life, and I didn't meet like a girl or anyone that year who I really connected with and really vibed with, and that song for me was about, it was a dream, it was a wish, it was about wishing that I had that type of love, and about kind of putting that into a song. And I feel like the reason that it has resonated with people that I've seen listen to it and stuff, and the comments that I get and stuff, is that I think we all kind of want that at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, whether we're
I can't even deny that. Yeah.
Whether we're honest about it or not, you know, especially us men, we always want to be like, you know, I don't give a fuck.
Like F that.
Yeah. But
no, I care. I cried.
Was
that the first song you posted?
Yeah. I mean, so I had been that whole year, like literally every day I was singing, I was writing, and a lot of days I was recording. I recorded like, you know, 30, 50 songs that year, all vocal, and they didn't make the cut. I didn't like any of them. And that was the first song. The reason that was like, it was one of the best days of my life so far, because I laid that song down. That song came together in 2 hours, all of it. Lyrics, melody, production, everything. It was done in 2 hours. And I sat there and I listened to it and I went like, holy shit, I did it. Yeah. You know, for a whole year, I just fucked up. I didn't get it right. I didn't get anything I was proud of. I mean, moments, you know, but never like a 3-minute song.
A full, complete song.
Yeah. And where every element of it I liked. And I got that song and I was like, you know, this is such a gift. Like,
I almost felt, would you say would you say it came like naturally? Like it wasn't forced at all, right? It was like
no. That's the biggest thing for me. And you talk to people I know, and they're like, oh yeah, that motherfucker won't shut up about that, because I don't force anything. Yeah. Like I have to let it breathe. I have to let it ride, and I have to let stuff come together naturally. So yeah, that song was a big moment in that way. You know?
Do you have like a trusted person in your corner that you send that song to, or send just songs to in general, that will tell you like this is the one or not?
Yeah, for me, I'm a little bit too self-directed to have anybody, a label or a friend or anybody,
give like their input or
be the reason why I post or don't post something or put something out. Like I'm putting out a 2-song EP in 3 weeks, and there's people who have said like don't put the second song out, and there's people who've said don't put the first song out, and there's people who have loved both. But the reason I'm putting it out is because I love both. You know, and so I have people I go to for mixes, you know, mix suggestions, like turn the vocal up, turn it down, you know, this is too bright, it's too dark. But, you know, shout out my friend Austin. He's a great artist and another singer-songwriter who he really helps me, and we sort of listen to each other's stuff. But in terms of like who decides what I put out, it's never going to be anybody but me, you know, because I put stuff out because I like it, you know, and that's kind of it. Yeah.
Are there any other sounds you want to like experiment with? Or?
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like I love everything. That's kind of my problem. It's like I love country. You know, my background's jazz and my production background's hip hop and electronic music. But God, I love like a good country song. I love folk. I love everything. You know, so I think especially early on, it's been a little bit. I don't know. I send people songs and they're like, "Well, this doesn't sound anything like your single," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't," because every time I sit down, you know, something else I'm curious about kind of comes out. You know, so. Yeah, I love everything. And I think my records in the future, when they do come out, are going to be like genre, like going to be very different, because that's what I love. I love too much stuff to like, you know, contain. Yeah.
And that's, you know, a lot of artists forget that. Like that's very possible. You know, you see big artists nowadays doing that as well. And what ties the records together is not really the genre, is the artist itself. It's you. Your voice is on there. You're the one making it.
Your words, your feelings, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said it better. It's really, my belief is like that it's the person that ties it together, and in fact that like what makes it most enjoyable is to see them in all of these different musical and emotional situations, you know, and kind of see all these different sides of them. That's what I think a record's about, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
I kind of have a 2-part question. So like in New York, it's a really saturated market with artists and whatnot. So I just want to know, do you ever get this is the first part. Do you ever get overwhelmed, like just trying to stand out in this like such a saturated market?
I had an answer that I decided on to that problem very early in my career, before I had even put anything out or anything. And my answer is quality, you know, because there are so many artists in New York and in LA and in the major cities who are not ready and who are just pushing everything they make out in, and they're oversaturating things, you know, and a lot of it is stuff people don't even want to listen to, you know. And I realized early on that, to me, there are not very many like hidden, undiscovered geniuses who have this great music but nobody finds it. And my feeling is, not that that's me, but that if I make great stuff, people will find it eventually, and if I just trust in that, I'll be okay. You know, so it's there's moments where I get stressed out. Like I have these 2 songs coming out and I'm like, you know, goddamn, if these get playlisted, it's gonna do a lot for my career, and if they don't, then I have to, like, you know, I'm always leveling up artistically, but I won't necessarily level up like career wise, you know. But I'm at peace with that.
What's that like, balancing that, actually? You answered part 2 of my question.
Yeah. So. Oh, well.
You already answered it. So. What is that like?
The career sort of
career
artist
versus
balance.
Artistic,
I'm an artist, man. I'm not a businessman. I think I could be if I wanted to be, but I don't. Because to me, you know, I have to be really concerned with how I feel. You know, I have to place a lot of importance on that. And so often in the work world, like I have a job now, and so often in the work world, you have to put that aside, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I do enough of that to get so involved in business that I'm having to do it all the time. And I think my music would suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there's no balance. It's just art,
Right.
you know? And I'm lucky to have a great manager. Shout out Tucker.
Right.
And
Shout out Tucker.
yeah, he works at Sony ATV. He's like killing it in his own way, but he's the guy I go to for that stuff, you know?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So like you're like you sort of have like the best of both worlds, you know, like you have the freedom to be creative, be true to yourself, but you also have like this overseeing like guidance in a way, you know, and
yeah,
you know, the way you explained it, it's like it's more than just like a business or partnership. It's more like a friendship in a way.
of course, yeah. I mean, for me, I have friendships and that's it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I got really lucky that before I had even put anything out, I had a couple people who believed in me, you know, Ben and Tucker. He runs my label, and Tucker's my manager.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always thinking about that kind of stuff, so I don't have to, you know, and I'm lucky in that respect. Yeah.
Do you have like a goal that you have set in mind musically, and then maybe another one that's has nothing to do with music for like the next 10 years?
For the goal, just for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Goal musically is to reach a state of flow,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm making music a lot, you know, where I'm sitting down all the time and consistently being able to express myself into sound in a way that feels truthful to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just purely artistic, you know. I'm working for that now. I don't have the luxury of being able to do that all the time.
What is it
you know?
that keeps you like from being able to just make music?
I think it's what keeps us all from, I mean, you know, it's what keeps us all from speaking our minds in conversations. You know, it's fear,
Mm-hmm.
it's self-doubt, it's anxiety, it's depression. It's stuff we all deal with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Being an artist, you know, you can't afford to have any of that weighing you down, because you need to be just light so you can just
Yeah, I've definitely
Yeah.
experienced that personally, man.
Yeah.
That's such a that stunts growth. This, you know, writer's block, everything.
Yeah.
You know, some
Yeah.
artists do well under pressure, and when life. Some artists just can't. They need a clear like. What would you say
Yeah.
like? You know, what's an obstacle like in your creative process? And, like, what
Self-doubt.
pushes you?
Yeah,
Self-doubt?
self-doubt for
Yeah,
sure.
that's-
But, you know, the thing about self-doubt is that you can't beat self-doubt with grit and drive, you know, because I have a lot of that. And, you know, I bring that to my guitar playing. I bring that to my singing. I'm working on that all the time. But with self-doubt, man, you got to let go.
Yeah.
You know, you have no choice but to just let go. And it's those things that I'm still learning, you know, because I came to music as like, you know, I don't think this is how I truly am, but I had those behaviors of like, I'm going to, you know, just work myself into the ground. There's nothing that's going to get in my way.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to creative process, bro, it's not about that. You know, it's about letting go. So I think the easiest way to say it is that I'm learning how to let go better and better every day, you know, and as long as I'm moving forward in that way, that's enough for me, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone that you want to collab with out there?
Oh man. Yeah.
Like one goal though.
A goal
Yeah.
collab.
It's like a dream collab.
Yeah, if I get like a, you know, even a DM or a letter or a guitar or something from John Mayer, like
John Mayer?
that's
That's
it.
it.
I made it. You know, that's it.
I seen you had a John Mayer guitar pick on your Instagram.
Yeah. My dad met him, and I actually have an interesting story. I've met him also.
Wow.
Yeah, I've met him. But yeah, my dad met him, and he was, you know, like my son is, you know, he loves your music. I grew up with John. You know, he was always in the car and in the house. And I have that pick now. I don't play with it because that.
Sacred.
Yeah, that's.
Want to frame it somewhere.
Yeah. You know, yeah. The goal would be, you know, I mean, I'm just fantasizing here, but if I got to induct him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and I had that pick, that's, you know,
a little crazy.
Yeah, that's. But that if you're you know, an artist, you have to have your dreams. You know, you have to have your craziness. But yeah, no,
You never limit yourself.
You know, of course not. No,
Yeah.
and that's the difference between being an artist and a civilian.
Yeah.
You know, it's like You really can't. Your inner life has to be, and your imagination has to be completely free.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, I just want to ask one more thing. If you could give like one more message, not necessarily to yourself, but whoever that next kid is, that maybe not Santa Monica, but that next person that's moving from someplace out to New York that just wants to follow their dream, what would that be? Now that you've navigated that for a couple years now.
I would say if it's meant to be, it'll be, and you need to let life manifest around you. You know, you need to just love yourself, relax, let go, and let life show you the way. You know, don't force anything.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. That's great advice. So I just want to thank you for coming out.
Thank you. This was great.
Thank
Y'all are really good at this.
One more question. Two actually. Two. What's your handle? Where can people find you? Find your music?
So we got it back there. It's at Walker Wonder _. You can also find me on Spotify and Apple Music. My artist name is just Walker. My single "It's Not Her Eyes" is out now, and I got a dual EP coming out on October 24th. So it's gonna be more music. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So thank you, man. Thanks for coming through.
Seriously, thank y'all. This was really good.
Yeah, anytime.
She says she's moving.